Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's morning briefing.
Looks like Vice President Mike Pence's trip to the Holy Land has been delayed. Pence was originally set to visit Israeli leaders in the Knesset and light the Hanukkah menorah in front of the Western Wall, but now the Vice President will remain in Washington to work on Congress's tax reform push. Sources say it's only a short delay of 3 days, which means Pence would arrive just as Hanukkah ends. Either way, this trip comes less than 2 weeks after President Trump's now infamous decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital and move the United States Embassy in the coming years accordingly. Outrage and protests have erupted all over the world since, especially among the Palestinians, who are now refusing to meet with Pence during his visit. The White House says Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas's rhetoric has, quote, prevented peace for years, end quote. But for many, especially the Palestinians, Trump's speech marks the end of America's role as an impartial negotiator in the peace process. 3 more rockets have just been fired from the Gaza Strip at Israeli territory. This is the 6th night in a row that we've seen rocket fire, and as usual, the army has swiftly retaliated by bombing Hamas military targets inside the Strip. As you can see in this video taken near the Gaza border, the Iron Dome intercepted 2 of the rockets, exploding them in midair before they could do any damage. The other rocket apparently misfired and actually damaged a school inside the Gaza Strip. Tensions are clearly reaching a breaking point in the wake of President Trump's bombshell decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. There have been dozens of rockets fired out of Gaza now, and earlier this week a Palestinian terrorist stabbed an Israeli guard outside Jerusalem's central bus station. This time, Israel is taking an extra step for these new rocket attacks and is closing the Gaza border crossing into and out of the Strip. The army will allow passage only in the case of extreme humanitarian reasons, and no word on when the crossing will be reopened. As escalations and clashes between Israel and the Palestinians continue, the Israeli border police brings to a close a weeks-long covert operation and arrested 367 Palestinians illegally residing in Israel. The arrest raids were initiated a little after 3 a.m. across many areas throughout the country. Over 1,600 border police officers took part in the operation, one of Israel's largest, now dubbed Operation Green Candles. Of the 367 arrested, 38 were residents of Gaza, and in addition to the 367, 12 suspects were arrested for employing the illegal residents, and 4 more were arrested on suspicion of being responsible for moving them about. Also collected during the raids were 55 gas canisters used in the manufacturing of explosives, 2 pipe bombs, 16 Molotov cocktails, and 3 weapons. An explosive lab thought to be supplying bombs out of a private residence in Abu Dis was also shut down. The Israeli Minister of Intelligence Affairs is now reaching out to Saudi Arabia in a bid to forge closer ties. Minister Israel Katz has invited the Saudi Crown Prince to visit Israel in an interview with Saudi Arabian media, even though Saudi Arabia doesn't have official diplomatic ties with the country. Katz says Saudi Arabia is the leader of the Arab world and that the kingdom should be a sponsor of the Israeli-Palestinian peace process, claiming Israel would be happy to participate in such negotiations. On Wednesday, the Saudi Arabian King Salman responded to U.S. President Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, saying the Palestinians also have a right to East Jerusalem as the capital of their future state. King Salman appointed his 32-year-old son Mohammed bin Salman as the heir to the throne back in June, and his firm anti-Iranian position makes him an important partner to both Israel and the United States. In fact, over the past few years, several Arab websites claim he has been meeting with top Israelis in secret. Israel is aware that Iran has been building weapons plants in Lebanon and vows to stop such works at all costs. It's time to celebrate, but this time it's not because of the holidays. It looks like the hit Israeli TV show Fauda will be returning for a 3rd season. Yes TV has just confirmed the reports, which is pretty unusual since the 2nd season of the show has yet to air. But just last week, the New York Times actually named Fauda as one of the best TV shows of 2017. The military thriller has already been picked up by Netflix as an original series and is receiving critical acclaim across the globe. The show's creators Lior Raz and Avi Sakharov will even be producing 2 more original programs for Netflix following Fauda's massive success on the platform. Fauda's 2nd season is set to premiere in Israel on New Year's Eve, and the 3rd is reportedly going to air sometime in 2019.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.